Thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, two black males, two non-black males. Let me repeat that again. Two non-black males, minorities, and also let's include the generic category people of color, non-black version, attacks elderly in New York City. But let's focus on black males, right? Yes, because this is what vast parts of society like for many people to focus on. Black and black crime, black and black crime, black and black crime. Oh my goodness, black males criminality. Oh my goodness, black males criminality. Even though the gigantic amount of American black males don't commit criminality. See, the thing about it is, there is this system of supremacy, which is the most awesome mental manipulation force that's ever existed. And they know that, unfortunately, multi millions within American blackism, with few exceptions, just do not know these little disgusting, brilliant tactics that are going forth and finishing up American blacks. And that's a whole different topic in itself. Let me start this particular first video.
I have long, my forefathers before me accomplished that. We have this down to a scientific perfection. I have long, my forefathers before me accomplished that. We have this down to a scientific perfection.
And relating to this topic is that they know this system of brilliant, the system of supremacy, which is the most awesome mental manipulation force that's ever existed, right? They know that the immigratingness and the border breaking illegal immigrationists, formal and non-formal, they know that they are utilizing that in various cities. You see what they're doing toward Chicago. You see what they're doing toward higher parts of Detroit, parts of Denver, definitely various parts of Texas. You get the point, and obviously in New York City. This is done on agenda on that situation. And see, then when you have more of this personnel, the ones that are doing this, right, that are come across the border, pseudo border breaking and formally border breaking illegal immigrant personnel, and other agendas are allowing more and more immigratingness, right, to be bestowed upon within Americanism. And it is a plan. And most of that stuff is to minimize American blacks' politicalness, socialness, right? It's a whole different topic in itself, right? But when personnel like that are come across the border, say for instance that person was a charlatan, they come across the borders of America, what, they're no longer charlatans anymore? Say they were sitting there doing murderous things, what, no, they're no longer murderers, personnel come across the border? Say for they was doing fraudulent activity before they came across the border, or they come across the border to America, where they're no longer doing fraudulent things? Of course not, right? So let me go ahead and play this particular video, right, of these two non black male minorities, right, that attacks elderly in New York City. But let's focus on black males, right? Let's go ahead and start it.
Well, the search is on for the suspects wanted for a shocking pair of attacks targeting the elderly on the Upper West Side.
That's right. Both incidents happened last Friday. In one case, a 77-year-old was punched in the face on West 77th Street. A short time later, an 81-year-old was sucker punched on 66th. It's the latest wave of violence targeting the elderly across the city.
And Fox 5's Kendall Green is live on the Upper West Side with more on the incidents and what is being done to protect some of the city's most vulnerable. Kendall.
Hi, good evening, Stephen and Bianca. Neighbors are still talking about it. These are two elderly residents just outside of their homes, not too far from their homes, before they're randomly assaulted by two men. And we spoke to some residents who tell us this could have easily been them. As the search continues for a man behind the brutal assault of an 81-year-old woman sucker punched while walking her dog, police are now after another man behind a separate but similar attack. The two elderly residents just outside of their homes, not too far from their homes, before they're randomly assaulted by two men. And we spoke to some residents who tell us this could have easily
To non-black males. Let's get that
As the search
specific.
continues for a man behind the brutal assault of an 81-year-old woman sucker punched while walking her dog. Police are now after another man behind a separate but similar attack the same day just hours before.
That's not American black male.
It happened in front of 27 West 72nd Street on the Upper West Side on Friday afternoon, just before 2. Police say the man pictured here, carrying a bag over his shoulder, punched a 77-year-old woman in the left eye and then ran away.
We have to be very cautious for wherever you go. It's really scary.
The victim, who didn't end up going to the hospital, suffered from minor injuries, but the injuries sustained by the woman's attack caught on camera just hours later, far worse.
The neck was almost as fat as my face. My nose is broken. Here, you could see the swollenness here.
She spoke exclusively with Fox 5, sharing she suffered a concussion following an attack she didn't take personal.
It was not against me. He's sick. Because he did not really rob me, did not take anything. He just really just hit me for no good reason.
In surveillance video, you see her stop for her dog as a man in all black walks past her. He turns around, takes a few steps towards her, and throws a strong punch, knocking her to the ground. Attack she didn't take personal.
It was not against me. He's sick. Because he did not really rob me, did not take anything. He just really just hit me for no good reason.
In surveillance video, you see her stop for her dog
Uh-huh.
as a man in all black walks past.
Does that seem like a black male? Of course not. So where is all that hatred when non-black males, the ones that do this, are sick and mental derangement, the ones that are doing this to these elderly? Where is that hatred for them? Sick ass people that sit there and play that damn game.
He turns around, takes a few steps
Look
towards
at
her,
this.
and throws a strong punch, knocking her to the ground.
Think about if that was your mama,
Before that punch, but
your
you see her on
grandmama,
her back, with her
sister,
dog still by her
aunt,
side, as people around
daughter.
help the victim out.
It reminds me of the things that happen in
Sick
our
ass
state
people.
to me.
As both men remain on the
Do
loose,
stuff.
residents share the news just adds safety concerns to similar encounters they've had already themselves.
So then he pushed me so hard. I didn't prepare for those things, so I was.
Where's that? Oh, that's
almost
anti-Asian.
prepared,
Where is that
but
crew at?
There was a war there, so I can grab it.
Sick ass people playing
walking down
games,
the street and
acting like it's
somebody
black folks,
was
black
walking
males
this
doing
way.
crime. Get the hell out of here.
Looked like he just got out of work and with a
Still by her side, as people around try to help the victim out.
It reminds me of the things that happen in our state to me.
As both men remain on the loose, residents share the news just adds safety concerns to similar encounters they've had already themselves.
So then he pushed me so hard. I didn't prepare for those things, so I was almost fall down, but the thing is, thank God there was a war there, so I can grab it.
like 2 years ago, I was walking down the street and somebody was walking this way. Looked like he just got out of work and with a suit on and just punched me in the arm. I think I was like completely shocked.
Those encounters, examples of a spike in misdemeanor assaults, up 9% from last year and 15% in the past 2 years, according to NYPD data, as residents adjust to what they're seeing happen too close to home. One of those residents shared after getting the news, when she's walking around, she just keeps her eyes on the swivel and she doesn't even put her headphones in. It's in hopes of avoiding a similar attack and she becomes the victim. But if anyone has any information about those suspects that we just showed you, you actually call Crime Stoppers. That number 1-800-577-TIPS. That's latest from the Upper West Side. Kendall Green, Fox 5.
Now that last part. Now remember, American blacks are told, if you see something, don't say nothing, right? Or you're snitching, right? And you say, how does that sound that is told ingrained in certain types of American blackism modern day, that if you don't sit there, if you sit there and see some criminality happen to someone, to not say nothing, right? Right? Are you a snitch? How does that sound again?
I thought it was dumb. Maybe you're right.
And have you noticed that that shit ain't gonna apply to situations like this, is it? You think if some personnel that didn't see this, I'm saying the ones it applies to, and they start thinking this somebody's mama, grandma, uh, a great grandma, etc. You get the point, auntie. You get the point, right? That they're not gonna sit there and eventually say something, right? That shit don't apply when other cultures and backgrounds are affected. You see how that goes, right? It's a sickness, right? It's a sickness. So, in finishing up this topic for today, these were however numbers are out there are non-American black males that are doing these kind of things. But you got people that want to focus and act like it's American black males are the problem. You know, get the hell out of here with that tactic. Right? I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show. But let me show that little clip of the first video again, or certain parts of it right here. Give me one part. Look at this for a second. This is what supremacist is doing. This is what supremacist is doing. Give me 1 second here. Look at this little area. Hold on. Give me a second here. Right there. Look at that. Look at the eyes. Watch it. Uh-huh. That's right. Yeah, we got the Negroes. Right. Yes. We got them not paying attention to our games. Yes. Yes. We got the Negroes just where we need them to help out everybody else and different other people with their problems. But there's no reciprocity on helping American blacks out, right? Yes, we got them. We got them nice and messed up. Because even though the American blacks don't commit the most crimes, we're gonna pretend that they do. We're gonna have people that have some skin of non-black, right? That can hide under the racial category of white. We're gonna have someone that can hide that had the skin of black, the ones past you that can hide under the racial category of black. We're gonna have the ones that can slide under the list goes on, right? We're gonna have the ones out there who wish they can be under the white category, because there are ones who can slide under that, right? But slide under minority, the generic category, right? But they slide under within the generation American white category, right? You see how that game goes, right? You got ones that have the skin of black that slide under the banner of black, right? But dip in and dip out, right? And how many of them want to be like numbers of personnel within the Paname's culture who they look upon as gods? We'll get them and their mentality, the ones it applies to look at black folks as if American blacks as if they the damn problem. You see how that game goes, right? But situations like what this then showed you on this, were these two and however other numbers of non-American blacks, minorities, people of color that's been sitting there assaulting these elderly women and men. Oh, then you got people get quiet then. You see how that little disgusting game go? I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.